Hey everybody, welcome to our Thursday presentation. We have a poll up right now for everybody that's here with me live, and I'm asking the question, do you know the slightest about the website called hubpages.com? So those of you who are here live with me should be answering that question. Most of you have voted. 89% of the votes are in. If you haven't voted yet, go ahead and finish. So the question I'm asking is hubpages.com. Either yes, I use it. Yes, only, I guess I should say heard, but you get what I'm trying to say. Only hear of it. And then your last option is no, never heard of it. Okay, almost everybody's voted. I'll give you another 10 seconds, and then we'll close out the poll. I always like to gauge what you guys know about the stuff that we're going to talk about. Okay, closing poll, share results. You're probably not surprised by the results. Nobody uses it, and there's about 20 of you here right now. Who's heard of it? I'm curious. One of you say you've heard of it, and then 94% of you, so basically everybody else, has not. That'll make tonight even more interesting. All right, so let me hide the results here. Let me bring my page back. And let's take a look at Hub Pages. Can you guys all see that I'm on hubpages.com? Make sure the screen sharing is working okay. All right, so we can all see this. So let me talk to you guys about Hub Pages. Once upon a time, I think this was back in like 2000 and well, it was in like 2008, 2009. It's always been Hub Pages, but Hub Pages actually bought out a company called Squidoo. How many of you guys have heard of Squidoo? If you're at all in the internet marketing space all those years ago, you may have actually heard of it. Let's see if I can bring up a logo of it. Because it doesn't exist anymore. Hub Pages bought it out back in like 2014. Anybody? Squidoo sound at all familiar? Maybe not. Okay. If not, that's fine. I'll explain what it is. So, as you know, you guys know, we've talked about this a little bit. Google over the years has made update after update after update in their algorithms. So they are becoming better and better at putting the best websites at the top of the internet. Well, some of their updates in the last 10 years or so have been geared around this revolution of content, right? Having really great content out there on the internet that does nothing more than just educate people, because that's 90% of the reason why people use the internet is for information. And so there's this big craze for content creation. And because content like blogs and articles that are posted on the internet started to rank very well with Google, there were sites like this that were created. So Squidoo was one of those sites. And what Squidoo was is you could go and basically post an article on Squidoo, and then that article would get decent rankings within Google and then get found within the Squidoo community. So rather, like, let's say you were an expert in beekeeping. You're an expert beekeeper, and you wanted to use the internet as a way to share all the things you know about beekeeping to educate the public. Well, you would have had a Squidoo page, or what they call the Squidoo lens, and you would have posted your content about beekeeping there, about how to take care of your hive, about how to harvest your honey, about how to best take care of your bees, so on and so forth. And then what would happen is, if it was well written, it would rank well within this network of content called Squidoo, but it would also rank well in Google. And so your articles about whatever it was would get found and read. So this was really great for people who are like aspiring writers and even people looking to make money online, because if you created one of these great Squidoo pages, then, well, you could get a lot of traffic, and then you could put in your affiliate links, and you could send people over to your e-commerce website, and there was a great way to make money that way. Well, Squidoo later got bought up by this company right here, or bought out. So, and I don't know how much they paid for them, but I think this was back in 2014. So now Squidoo no longer exists. The only company that exists that's really notable in this space is Hub Pages. So it's the same. It's actually the same exact concept. This is just a network of content. So if and anybody can post, right? You don't have to be some special writer or inside person to be able to post here on Hub Pages. Your content gets posted after you create an account and write it up. Now, granted, you can't post garbage here, and it can't be crap. Hub page content is noted for being very, very detailed. Let me show you some examples. So we're on the Hub page homepage right now, or Hub Pages homepage. Let's look at this one. This one's called Thailand Thai Street Food Cooked Foods, under the Thai cuisine section. And the first thing you ought to notice is you notice some ads on this? You see ads on this article? What kind of advertisement is this right here? It's Google AdSense, isn't it? That's a Google advertisement. Are there any other ads on the page? Well, let's scroll down and look. Here's one right here. Another large ad right here on the side. Right? Let's keep scrolling down the page. These are advertisements for other Hub Pages pages, so those aren't ads. Oh, we got another one. This one right here. And let's keep scrolling down the page. Now, notice how long this article is. We're not going to read it, but so it's called Thailand Thai Street Food. And so they have an introduction right here. They've got a nice picture. You scroll down the page. The history of Thai food. You got varieties. The cultural experience. More pictures. More ads, by the way. Right over here on the right-hand side of the page. Thai essentials. Notice how long this is, right? Seafoods. I can tell they're Google AdSense ads just because they look like them. They've got a distinct look. So I'm still scrolling, and this article is still going. Am I right? Look at this. For the tourist. I mean, this is what, like a 8,000 word article or something crazy? I think we're getting towards the bottom. Yes. So here's the about the author, or more by this author. So this same guy has also written these other articles. See those? And these aren't related at all. Notice that. 100 funny and witty quotations about politics. Okay. That's not really related to Thai food, right? And then notice at the bottom, this is a comment section. So people, other Hub Pages users, come in here and they can leave comments. Okay. Now, you can't leave a comment unless you're a member of Hub Pages. So if I wanted to post a comment, I would need to make sure I sign in, and then I could do it. All right. And again, at the very bottom of the page, another ad, right? So who makes money off of this? Okay, so this guy, this author wrote this. He's a member of Hub Pages. He wrote this article. Who makes money here? It's a revenue split, essentially. So both Hub Pages and the author are making money here. Because Hub Pages is the big popular platform, and they put it all together, they have a stake, right? They should get a piece of the revenue. But Hub Pages is nothing without its authors, so the authors who are writing here get a piece of the revenue. And the theory behind this is this article, if it's well written enough, is not only going to get a lot of traffic just here directly on Hub Pages, but it's going to get found out there in Google because the search engines will pick it up. And this one single article may make this guy thousands of dollars over the years. Or it may not make him anything if it's not very well done. Or it may make him a few $100 if it's okay. I mean, really, your success as an author on Hub Pages is really quite contingent on how well you produce content. And you can see this guy who wrote this probably spent a considerable amount of time on this article. How much time, I don't know. But you got to think with all the pictures he put in, the time to write it out well. And by the way, if you're an author on Hub Pages, you don't just get your content qualified to show up just because you wrote it and submitted it. It has to follow some guidelines, and it has to be done well enough that it's not a piece of crap, and Hub Pages feels comfortable publishing it. Now, that doesn't mean you need to be some fancy writer. You just have to be able to put a sentence together with correct grammar and correct punctuation with some flow that makes sense, right? And I know a lot of you guys can do that. But this actually works. I actually remember back in the Squidoo days, there were people that were making a lot of money by creating one of these Squidoo pages and then having it out there for years and years and making a ton off of it. Now, this is a little different than Squidoo because I can't, in this article, if I'm the author, I cannot put affiliate links here. So if I've got some sort of like specialty Thai recipe ebook affiliate program, and I'll bet they're out there, and at the bottom of this whole thing, I'm like, hey, by the way, check out this really awesome ebook, best Thai food recipes there are, most authentic. Anyway, I sell it, right? And if somebody clicks, I end up making money off of it. Well, they don't allow that. That's not a part of Hub Pages. The only way you make money on Hub Pages is if you agree to their AdSense and their own internal network of ads, if you agree to a partnership with them. That's how you make money with Hub Pages. Now, you might ask yourself, and this is always the question I ask myself, if I'm this guy right here that writes this, and we can click on his profile, he's written 151 articles. Here's his profile right here. He's from Essex, England. His name's Alan. Works in a hospital. Likes photography, travel, cinema. Okay, he's just a normal guy like us, right? Like you and me. He's not like some sort of author or anything, but he's published 151 hubs, they're called. They're articles. Got a lot of followers. And I would imagine he's probably making thousands of dollars off of his articles. I mean, it's always hard to say because I don't know how popular all of his stuff is, but he very well could be. And that's the potential, I suppose. You might wonder to yourself, going back to what I was going to say a second ago before I went off topic. You might wonder yourself though, why would you do this on hub pages and not on your own website? Because haven't we been teaching you guys to create your own informational site and post your content there? Hasn't that been part of our training? Create a niche blog, design it, get a domain name, do some hosting, and post your own content to your own niche site. And yes, Jeff, this author is making money solely off the ads. He doesn't make anything off of submitting the article. It's free. It's free. I'm by the goodness of my heart submitting an article to hub pages, and it doesn't cost me anything. It doesn't cost them anything. They'll take it, but then if I agree to their ad partnerships, then I can actually make money off of it. But again, why would I do this and not do content on my own site? And Catherine, you're saying, is this the same as Stumble or Reddit? That's quite a bit different. Quite a bit different. This would be similar to maybe some of you guys back in the day had heard of ezinearticles.com. In fact, it's still around as an article site. This is a giant article collection is what this is, if that makes sense. I'm trying to think of a better word, but that's what it is. It's a big collection of articles. Reddit's different. Reddit is just people interacting in sort of a forum setting, right? StumbleUpon's different because StumbleUpon, you're just using it to find various websites on the internet. Okay, Oliver. So here's the first comment about maybe why we use it instead of using or posting content to our own blog. He says, doesn't hub pages get more traffic than a beginning blog? And I would argue that's probably true, Oliver. It's probably easier if you submit really well done content here to get some readers, to get some comments, maybe even to rank in Google, because you're posting it on a hub pages domain, which means it's on a trusted source. Your article is posted here, which has some rapport with Google, so it might be easier to get found. Sure, that's a good point. Cheryl says, can you use a pen name? You bet you can. Cindy says, I think you would do this in addition to our website blog. You certainly could. If you allow them to publish your article, can you still publish this on your own blog site? You cannot. It has to be original content just for them. Now, why would that be a rule, do you think? Because hub pages wants the article to be unique on their site, or else they're not going to rank very well. Catherine, you say, so this is a launching platform? Maybe. I guess that's one way you could look at it. Who owns the article? Hub pages does, essentially. Could be used as another stream of income, sure. Yeah, I mean, you could do something similar, sure, Greg, as long as it's not the exact same one. So this guy, maybe he owns his own Thai recipe site, and he's got that same article just written a little differently with different images, and then he submits something different to hub pages. That could work. Sure. All right, well, let's just talk about the pros and cons then. Pros, it's already been mentioned once. You'll probably get found quicker on hub pages. Pros, it's designed for you. Like, I guess if you think about creating your own blog, and some of you guys can relate to this, You have to design it and set up a domain name and pay for a domain name and pay for hosting. Um, it's your site, right? If there's ever a problem, you have to deal with it. Hub Pages, you simply create an account and you can write on their platform. It's very simple and it's free. So that's one reason people like to do it. If you absolutely could not afford to get a blog and pay for it, but you wanted to make money in affiliate advertising, this would probably be a good option. It's free. So it's free, it's simple, it's easy. You can make real money at it for sure. Easier to establish a following for sure. If you really want to aspire to be like a writer, this could be a place where you get found. Your content gets found and you get writing opportunities. That's very possible. You know, guys, there are a lot of blogs out there that need content creators. Because like we were talking about earlier, good, well-done content is worth so much on the internet. People, if they found your article and liked your style, they would pay you to write for them. And it's not hard to find people willing to pay for that. Well, so here's the thing, Catherine, you don't really. So Catherine asks, if you post on Hub Pages, then how do you eventually direct traffic to your own site? You don't necessarily. It's like Hub Pages is kind of its own isolated thing. You don't refer your own sites. You don't refer your own affiliate marketing type stuff. You're basically submitting content to Hub Pages. So it's like instead of using a blog, you're just submitting your articles here and hoping to make money off of the off of this, or get yourself out there as a potential writer. Yeah, Pam, they're not niche driven. No, that's actually another really good point. So when you write on Hub Pages, you don't have to choose a niche and just go with it like you would on your own website. You can write about whatever you want, and it doesn't affect you negatively. Now, I know some of you are like, why are you telling me this, Trevor? I'm not trying to become a great writer or anything, and that's fine. However, some of you guys actually are pretty good writers, and I've seen that in your work. If not decent enough writers that you could get better and you could actually make money off of this. Our job in this program is to help show you all the different ways that you can actually make money. This is certainly one of them. But let me just give you a reality check real quick before you think you're going to get rich off of Hub Pages. Content creation like this on a site like this is not a quick way to make money. This would be more of an investment into your future. In fact, Hub Pages themselves will tell you that it is possible to make thousands of dollars, and it is each month. And there are people that do, and there are people that make hundreds of dollars. And it's residual, right? That's what's kind of fun about this. You write a really well-done article that gets some decent traffic to it. It's going to be on Hub Pages forever and ever. Well, in theory, that's going to be a con here in just a second. But it's going to be out there forever and ever, and you could be getting paid on that article for a long, long time. I mean, it may have taken this guy 12 hours to write that article that we were looking at together. But what if he's making like $100 a month off of it for the rest of his life? Right? Was that a valuable 12 hours spent? Sure. If you'd pay me $50 a month for the rest of my life, $25 a month, right? I'd probably work 12 hours, so you pay me $25 a month for the rest of my life. Wouldn't you? That maybe doesn't sound like much, but that's what, $250 a year, $300 a year. Multiply that by 10 years, right? I mean, that was time well spent. So that's why this is kind of cool, because if you actually have 150 articles written and you're making that kind of money, you can actually make real money. Yeah, for sure. Kind of like a WikiHow where authors get paid. Yep. Yep, I agree, Pam. I think this is a platform to test out the followers and interests in certain subjects. Definitely. They don't require any amount of articles, really, Shelley. I mean, you could write one and be done, or you could write 15 a week. That's sort of your prerogative. Now, let me talk about the negatives for just a second. But that was one of the negatives. It's not like you're not going to pay the bills tomorrow with this type of a strategy. So keep that in mind. It's not easy. Like, you got to write good content. I mean, can you just appreciate for just a second some of the content that was written here? This one's called the exit of the United Kingdom from the European Union. And you scroll down, and it's a well done piece of content, right? I'm scrolling. So anyway, you get the point. Anyway, so it takes some work for sure, but if done well, it pays. There's no question about that. If you have no interest in writing or content creation, this isn't for you. If you have some interest in it, you may really enjoy this. And don't be closed-minded either, because guess what? I'm a numbers guy, I'm a finance guy, yet I really found that I enjoyed writing later and do it when I can and when I have time. So don't be so closed-minded that you're not willing to at least try something like this. Not every article is approved. If it's not very well done, they'll reject it, but they're fairly liberal. I mean, if you follow their rules. Yeah, right, Cindy. That's a good way to look at it. It is kind of like a magazine article that's well put together with images and potential videos and other things. Sure. Should we look at another one real quick? Okay, here's one. Let's just read the top one. This is called Messages of Sympathy, What to Say When Somebody Dies. You ever been in that position before? What to write in a sympathy card, general messages of sympathy, messages of sympathy for closer friends and family, pet sympathy card messages. So this is like a really well done article to help you write a sympathy card and do it well. Is that a useful piece of content? To some people, maybe, right? Do you think people turn to the internet to get ideas on how to write out a sympathy card for a situation like that, or how to know what to say when somebody close to you dies? Sure, right? I mean, it's amazing how you can really get a niche article like this, and there's a tremendous amount of interest because of the vast size of the internet. So anyway, it's pretty cool stuff. So here's what I'm going to encourage you to do tonight. Tonight, my goal was just to simply introduce you to Hub Pages. The biggest con here that I want you to keep in mind is, I don't see any reason why Hub Pages won't be around for the next very, very long time. But the only real downside to this is, what if Hub Pages goes away, right? What if something happens? What if they get sued, or they become very unprofitable and later just close things down? What then? All that hard work you put into it may be gone. So I guess that's the risk you take. While it may give you a really big boost in an article right off the bat, is that article better served on your own blog that you own, that nobody can take away from you, that you're paying hosting for? Now that's for you to decide. I just encourage you to give this a try at least. you may find that this is definitely your cup of tea, and could end up working out real well for you. So we'll do some more trainings on hub pages. I think it's an interesting topic. What do you guys think that are here live? Is this type of internet marketing at all interesting to you? I know not everybody's into the writing and content creation side of things, but I think a few of you are. If it is something kind of interesting, we'll continue to discuss it. It's a viable way to make money, and so for that reason, I think I want to spend a little bit more time sharing it with you guys. Good. I'm glad most of you guys like it. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, we'll do some more. I think I'll part ways right here, and maybe we'll look at a little more next week. We'll see. I always say that, but sometimes we change topics just depending on what you guys need. But we'll definitely see. Thanks for coming along tonight, everybody. We will see you all next time.